In this video we'll work on Ruth chapter 4, verses 1, 2, and 3. And for this chapter we're not going to import the lexical data from a Word document. And the reason is because after we finish this chapter, then you can go work on any other book in the Bible that you'd like. And we don't have documents for those other books. So you need to know how to enter the lexical data manually. So we'll start doing that in this chapter. So, okay. Okay, generated text is identical. Okay, gate. So we double click on it. We'll say new target stem, gate. Countable common neuter thing. Boaz went to the gate of the town. Boaz went to the town gate. Okay, town gate is better. A gate, okay, when we analyzed this, we said a gate is part of a town, and it is. But there are times when we have exceptions to some of these. So let's write a rule that will convert gate of the town to town gate. So we'll do that in our noun-noun relationships. There are 16 structures now. Let's add a new one. Okay. Let's change these. This is part whole. And this will be gate of the town. So whenever we have this construction, okay, we don't want this explanation of name. Whenever we have that, we want to change it to just the town gate. So let's delete this, and we'll mark this noun phrase, this embedded noun phrase, so it precedes, it's a pre-head genitive. Boys went to the town, the gate. Okay, let's make this head noun, mark it as generic so we won't get this extra the. Boaz went to the town gate, generated text is identical. And Boaz sat down near that gate, and he sat down near it. Okay, if we tell it to ignore the pronoun here, it in that gate, that's fine. Generated text is identical. Okay, friend. Countable, common, masculine, person. Okay, whenever we have an unknown generic genitive, we double click on generic genitive. Okay, Boaz's friend, Saxon genitive. Boaz's town, Saxon genitive. Generated text is identical. Okay. And that man sat down and he sat down. That's fine. That's the last sentence. Boaz marries Ruth. He went to the town. Okay, this he, okay, these two sentences have the same subject. But the rule that identifies pronouns should not look into a title. So let's go change that. Identification rules. This was, if we rest our cursor here, okay, structure 1. Features change from surface realization equals noun to personal pronoun by rule number 2, structure 1. Rule number 2, structure 1. So this first sentence can't be a title. Okay. Then the kinsman redeemer that Boaz talked about walked near the gate. So he said to that man, okay, this he. Okay, this isn't good. Because there's an intervening noun, Boaz. If we look here, he. Okay, features change from surface realization equals noun to personal pronoun by rule number 2, structure 1 again. We have here, okay, when there's an intervening noun of the same gender but a different index, then we don't want to convert this one to a pronoun. We need to say ignore phrasal embedding as well. Because this, in this case, this is in a relative clause. So let's do that. Okay. Generated text is identical. Let's save it. Generated text is identical. Boaz said to those men, he said to those men. Text is identical. That's the last sentence. Generated text is identical. Text is identical. Okay, own. I don't think we'll need this rule. Okay, land. This is a small piece of land, a small plot of land that someone might own. We'll link it to land. Text is identical. Sell. New target stem. Sold, have sold is selling, sells. Okay, sell, theta grid adjustment rule. Okay. The king sold the land to the people, and then Luke 12:6, the person sold the bird for a penny. Naomi wants now to sell that land. Now Naomi wants to sell that land. Okay, we have now set to clause final. Where else have we used now? In the book of Ruth. Okay, Ruth 3:10. But you're being very kind now. And that is good, having it at the end. You're being very kind now. But here, now, okay, Naomi wants now. When there's a complement clause, let's change now from clause final to clause initial. So that'll be an adverb issue. Okay. This is clause initial. Clause initial. Let's say when we have a clause final adverb, we don't need these. But we have an object complement clause. So if we have a clause final adverb and an object complement clause, We want that adverb to become clause initial. Generated text is identical. That's the last sentence. Generated text is identical. We're ready for verse 4.